Hold that tiger. And you better get used to hearing that being said. Hold that tiger. LSU Odyssey Odcast, volume 33? 32? Which one are we at now? But it's somewhere around there. 31, 32, 33, something like that. Today, Jason Taylor's son, Mason Taylor, the nephew of Zach Thomas, NFL legend at linebacker, and also Jason Taylor's teammate. Mason committed to LSU. He's only rated 3 stars on Go 24/7, but LSU Odyssey rates him as a 4-star because of the upside. We feel that he did not have more than enough reps on field to show his true game last year. He was still developing. Still at St. Thomas Aquinas, while they went and won consecutive titles in his junior season, Mason caught 6 passes for 133 yards. It's, a small amount of stats, small numbers, but when you actually look at it, what other tight end do you know of who caught 5 or more passes that all averaged for 22.1 yards? What other tight end do you know of that does that? Exactly. That's why he's a big victory, big win for LSU, Derek Shea, tight ends coach, and Jake Peets. Derek Shea took the big lead on this, and Mason warmed up to LSU very quickly. We wanted him to come in for his own private workout on, I believe it was June 22nd. And then LSU Odyssey, we interviewed him. We interviewed Mason on June 23rd, or I believe it was on the 22nd, on the day of the workout at night. Either way, we interviewed him, and when we put out that interview, it was filled with some really interesting clues as to what he thought about LSU. He loved LSU. They treated him like family, he said, with how they were greeting him instantly and how they treated him and talked to him, and how they treated his family. How they made it. It wasn't just about his dad. It was about the NFL genes, and it was completely about Mason and what he could do. And he said that was, refreshing. I'm sure he probably didn't get a lot of that from some other programs. It seemed like the other programs were more interested in recruiting his father than they were in recruiting Mason. LSU were recruiting Mason hard, and they got him over the line. And, don't look at it like LSU signs 2 tight ends here, in Jake Johnson and Mason Taylor, because neither of these guys are pure tight ends. Both can play pure tight end, in the stance, right next to that left tackle, right tackle. They can do that, but they're better at stretching the field like an actual receiver. So you can call them a flex tight end, you can call them whatever. I call them pass-catching weapons. I feel Mason he's going to be a real good player this year as a senior. I think you're going to see 10-plus touchdowns and 700 to 1,000 yards for him this year. He's going to be a big-time impact player for St. Thomas Aquinas as they go for a 3-peat. And it's, he said something to LSU Odyssey right after he committed to LSU. We were very excited. We sent him a message saying congrats, saying we're proud of him, and we said what sealed the deal for LSU. His answer? Everything. Yep, he said everything. So, it feels good. It feels great to see this young man commit to the team of his choice, and it's great that it's LSU because I'm really interested in following his development. I was going to be following his development whether he went to Florida, Timbuktu, or wherever. The player interests me. His game interests me. The human side of it is really what takes it over the line for me. I've heard some great stuff about Mason being like a seriously out of control leader. Like, he gets very intense and very vocal. And, you know, someone said, but he backs that vocal up. Like, he is one of the hardest workers on St. Thomas Aquinas. And we know what that team does under Coach Harriet. You know, there's Tommy Moffitt called Marcus Dumerville and Marlon Martinez two hardest working freshmen he's ever seen at LSU. Tommy Moffitt's been there since the year 2000, okay? Y2K was a thing, you know. Jay Bennett was still in Wilco, you know. American Pie 2 hadn't even come out, okay? Geely hadn't come out, all right? Like, things were still nuts, okay? Robert Downey Jr. was still getting messed up, all right? Like, Tommy Moffitt's seen it all. And for that speaks to the work ethic at St. Thomas Aquinas. So that should all give us a little clue into Mason Taylor's what drives him. Now, you know, LSU are on a streak here. With Mason Taylor's signature, that's 7 players signed since March 25th. Okay? Gervonta Citizens right there in that mix at running back. Demario Tolan at linebacker, the first linebacker of the class, finally signed out of Dr. Phillips just a bit ago. And it seems like he could be a fantastic player. Really, really lined up for him to be a great linebacker here at LSU. You know, you had Tolan, you had Fitzgerald West, you had Citizen, and now you got Mason Taylor. That's 4 players signed, or sorry, not 4 players signed, 4 players committed in the month of July. And more than that, that's 4 players committed in the last 16 days. That's incredible. They're moving at a fast pace right now, LSU, and I'm telling you what, you're going to add a 5th tomorrow when Emory Jones commits to the LSU Tigers. If Emory Jones does not commit to LSU, life is a lie, okay? If Emory Jones does not commit to LSU, don't ever trust anything anyone says about anything on planet Earth again, okay? It's like the Truman Show. It will be the Truman Show if Emory Jones does not commit to LSU. Okay? Emory Jones is perfect for the Tigers. We need him. He could have early playing time. He's going to be perfectly developed under Brad Davis, someone who he's been talking to for quite some time. And don't forget, you know, Emory Jones said something really hilarious and brilliant during our conversation with him. LSU Odyssey posted a conversation with him. You know, I remember talking to him on Mother's Day, the night of Mother's Day. It was like the 3rd or 4th day of our conversation, and we were just shooting the breeze that night, that Sunday night. And I remember I was going to have to go to the airport and pick up my fiance from St. Louis, and I'm about to leave. And I'm looking at my phone, just checking my phone, putting YouTube on, something funny to listen to or watch, like Joe Rogan or something. Or, you know, sometimes I'll put on Carter the Power's latest episode or some LSU content like that, so I can keep my brain going, keep the work going, even when I can't use my hands, you know. And before I leave, I check my phone and I see you know, his answer to my question. I had asked Emory Jones, what's the one word you would use to describe LSU? And I asked that question with a hope that he would deliver the answer that I was thinking he might. And boy, did he. When I saw that one-word, four-letter answer, I could not wait to get that interview out. Because it confirmed, it was the first confirmation of what we were all hoping. And that was that Emory Jones would stay home, commit to LSU. Of course, until that name is on the dotted line, which, there's still plenty of time before February where, National Signing Day actually takes place. But if Emory commits to LSU, it's as good as sealed. And I expect that to happen tomorrow when Emory announces. Emory announces that's 5 players committed to LSU in July, the most turbulent month in college football history. Not only with 12-team playoff expansion, NIL, and then, of course, you got conference apocalypse now. So, to be able to potentially pick up 5 high-octane recruits here in this month is incredible. Actually, you know what? That might be 6 with Nathan Diebear. Yeah, I think that might be 6. So you got Trevante Citizen, Demario Tolan, Fitzgerald West, Mason Taylor, potentially Emory Jones tomorrow, and then Nathan Diebear. That would be 6 commitments for LSU. All of those players are rated 3-star, all those players are rated 4-star or above, except for Fitzgerald and West and Mason Taylor, who are rated 3 stars by Go247. I consider Fitzgerald West a 3-star, but I do consider Mason Taylor to be a 4-star. I think Mason Taylor has that upside. But still, that is incredible. It could be 4 stars or higher, except for 2 guys, and those 2 guys should be 4 stars, most likely. But even Fitzgerald West, if you put him as a 4-star, I couldn't complain with that. Really, really like the player with Fitzgerald West. And, maybe 1 or 2 of these guys don't finish the cycle on LSU's final roster. But I don't think so. I think these guys are firm commits here. I think there's some of the other guys who committed earlier who might find themselves going astray later on in the process if bigger targets come LSU's way, they get a little jealous, things like that happen. I only expect maybe 1 or 2 decommitments at the most from LSU, and I think it would be more through processing than anything. 16 members of this class already, 9 to go, and Mason Taylor is a part of it after today. What a streak, What a streak. It's number 1 ranked SEC class in the nation, in the conference. Which is saying something because, now we include Texas and Oklahoma in there, in that discussion. So it seems only behind Ohio State and Georgia, is it? Maybe it's Ohio State and Georgia. Yeah, I think it is Ohio State and Georgia. Nationally ranked at 3rd, still behind Ohio State and Georgia. But here's the thing, we're just right there. And this class is absolutely historic. Top to bottom. Just grade A. Great players across the board. Who knows what the final shape of this class will look like, but I can guarantee you that 99.9% of the players who do commit to this class will stick with the class, whereas 2021 you saw kind of some shakeup there. There was some core guys who were gone through either processing or whatever. Like Naquan Brown, Rayshawn Davis, the list goes on and on of guys who decommitted or whatever. Anthony Hundley was one of the first to commit to the class and then was one of the first to decommit. So, like, I think there was like 3 or 4 decommitments in 1 month. So, yeah, like, going from 2021, which had such a high-octane receiving class, didn't do too well at the corners or offensive line. LSU have completely turned that around. Picking up LaTerrence Welch, who I believe is a 5-star and I believe is the best corner of the 2022 class. No other media representative or publication or institution has gone out of their way to say that LaTerrence Welch is the number 1 corner of the 2022 class. LSUODYSSEY.com have done it on numerous occasions and will continue to do it whenever I am asked about LaTerrence Welch. He is the undisputed best cornerback of the class. And I have no problem saying that. To anyone, to any recruit, they all look up at LaTerrence Welch and what he's doing. But then you got Azaria Thomas potentially switching from safety to corner, which he can easily do. There will be some development, some time, but adjusting to that. But at the same time, Azaria Thomas, he's got all the tools as well. This is a guy that has gone way under the radar. Corey Raymond loves to keep certain guys completely secret from anyone, from everyone, so that, no one comes and poaches his guys. Azaria Thomas is another one of these secrets. And for great reason, too. Azaria, I believe I'm pronouncing that right. Azaria, he's got it all. He's got a brother, going to Georgia Tech. There's some love there. He did put Georgia Tech in his Final 3. But LSU are the team to beat. No question. And Azaria Thomas came to campus today for an unofficial visit. So that was fantastic for LSU to get him on campus before he goes to Florida, the other team in his top 3, tomorrow. So before he could even go to Florida, LSU made sure to get FaceTime with him. That's huge. That's going to tell Azaria that LSU are relentless here for his signature. There's some good corners in this class, but Azaria, compared to some of the other guys out there, I think he's a must. Like, I think if Corey Raymond likes his project this much, I believe in Corey Raymond. I trust Corey Raymond. I would trust Corey Raymond leading the whole entire program, to be honest. I would trust Corey Raymond as being the head coach for LSU tomorrow. So if Corey Raymond tells me this guy is fantastic, he's going to move to corner, we need to get him, I'm all in. 100%. But yeah, just wanted to catch up on some recruiting. LSU are on a streak, baby. And it's only going to continue tomorrow when Emory Jones commits to the LSU Tigers. Remember, if he doesn't, it's just the Truman Show. It's just, our world is a lie. So, yeah. Expect that. Expect LSU to have just continue picking up the recruits. I don't know how long this streak will go on for. I don't know how many guys LSU are going to sign that are top guys and all that, but we're moving at a great pace, and it looks like this recruiting staff are just on fire. But, thank you very much for listening. Love y'all. Hope you're all doing okay. I know times are tough. Things are tough. But you're tough as well. You're tougher. Stronger, better, faster, sexier. Go Tigers.